evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, the Tullahoma Wildcats face the only other undefeated team in their division on Friday night. We'll learn about Child Health Month, and Tennessee has a new license plate design which was selected by state residents. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I am tremendously blessed to be living at Parkview and very happy to be part of a loving and caring community.
Best thing you can say is this really a great place to live. That's all there is to it, no doubt about that.
It's your home. You just do what you would if you were at your private home. You know, we love it. It's great.
It's just like having a whole neighborhood around you, and it's fun.
It's just a great place to live.
Welcome back. The 6-0 Tullahoma Wildcats take on 7-0 Montgomery Central Friday night at Wilkins Stadium. Coach John Olive spoke about this weekend's game and the playoff implications that could result from the outcome of this contest.
Montgomery Central, which is coming to Tullahoma next Friday night, and they are at this point an undefeated football team.
7-0. So this will be the third undefeated football team that we've had coming to Tullahoma to play this year. Our team has beaten Marshall County, which was, I think, ranked number 8 at the time, and they're still in the top 10. They only have one loss. They and Pearl Cone are getting ready to meet each other, so one of them's getting ready to get 2 losses.
Right.
Pearl Cone came a week ago. They were undefeated. They were number 3 in the state, and we were able to find a way to beat them. And so now we have our third undefeated team that's coming to our stadium, Wilkins Stadium, and it'll be another exciting Friday night. We're on fall break, so that's something that we've got to make some adjustments for. Right. As our young men won't be in the same rhythm that they have been in for the last 9 weeks as we've been in school.
We negotiated homecoming pretty well, though.
We did. And so we're a senior-laden team. I think they understand what's at stake and so forth. If we want home field advantage throughout the playoffs, for as long as we stay in the playoffs, we have to win this coming Friday night, and then we'll have to win 2 more games after that. If we stub our toe after this Friday night, we will still be region champions because we will have a 1-game advantage over the other 3.
Right.
Montgomery Central will finish anywhere from 4 to first right now in our region. We'll finish anywhere from 4 to first. Pearl Cone, Marshall County, we don't have it locked, but you can look, you can see that those 4 teams are going to be the 4 teams that represent our region in the playoffs. Right. And but by winning this region, just the way it falls this year, obviously when you finish first or second, you host the first round game. Then after that, it starts going by. The second round goes to the highest seed. The third round goes by an even or odd year, depending on which year you're in, depends on who's going to be the host. And your fourth round, which is your semifinals, does the same thing. It's an even odd year thing. Well, the way this falls, if we win our region, we would host first round. If we win the first round, we would host second round because we're still the highest seed, being a number 1 seed. So we would host it. And then because of the calendar year, we would host quarterfinals. If we won those, if we can, my hope is that our players are good enough to overcome my coaching and get us past the quarterfinals. We would also host a semifinal game.
Wow. Which
was the unique thing that we had last year when we were going east in the playoffs. We weren't able to do it, got beat 15-14 in the quarters, or we would have hosted a semifinal game last year. And, so the table is set there for us, and that's what we keep talking to them about. What's your goals? What do you want to accomplish? This is your last shot at it. This is going to go down as one, if not the most winning team class in the sport of football. They're going to be right there at it. And I think they'll probably have more wins than any other class. Now, the wheels could fall off. We could all of a sudden just start getting huge injuries and so forth. So I don't want to get the cart in front of the horse, but that's basically what we're telling them.
Right.
Is that this is what's there before you. You want to be somebody that's remembered for decades. This is what's there for you. You can put yourself into history. And unfortunately, they're all in that same class.
Yeah.
But it is good for that class. It's been a unique class. It's a great class. They're a fun class. There's some guys in this thing that I'll remember until I lose my mind or I'm dead because they're fun to be around. Big ball game though. 7 o'clock Friday night, Montgomery Central.
Undefeated Montgomery Central.
Undefeated Montgomery Central coming to town. And
it starts right there.
And I was talking to Murphy Fair this week. He said very few people thought you all had a chance against Pearl Cone. Well, very few people think Montgomery Central's got a chance against us. Shoes on the other foot.
There you go.
And we got to be able to handle it from our side as being a favored in a undefeated matchups again.
Right.
And if we want to stay undefeated, then we'll prepare well. And if we play well, I think we'll have a good shot at staying undefeated. If we don't prepare well and play poorly, I think we'll suffer our first loss. Wow. And they'll have the T-Town tailgating going on right outside the stadium. Arrive early, eat. The band sells food, the quarterback club sells food. There's a food truck there, and those proceeds are going to be split up with school organizations and so forth. So it's a lot of fun, they tell me. I don't know. But anyway, we'll do the Wildcat Walk with the band and the football team and all takes place. It's roughly 6:10.
We'll be right back in a moment after these messages.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Welcome back. The Tennessee Department of Health is recognizing Child Health Month throughout the month of October. This annual recognition is a time to celebrate and raise awareness about what Tennessee is doing to promote the health of our most important resources, Tennessee's children. The theme for Child Health Month 2021 is childhood resilience, nurturing social, emotional, and physical health. Having the support of a stable, committed adult, whether it be a parent, caregiver, teacher, or community member, can help foster childhood resiliency and ensure a child feels that he or she has what it takes to overcome life's challenges. The Tennessee Department of Health, in collaboration with state and local partners, is utilizing the whole child approach to address childhood resiliency. The following focus areas are being highlighted during Child Health Month to ensure children and families receive valuable information for overall health. They include tobacco use prevention, promoting healthy eating habits and healthy drinks, a statewide virtual dance party called Dance Across Tennessee, social and emotional health, and children with special health care needs. The mission of the Tennessee Department of Health is to protect, promote, and improve the health and prosperity of people in Tennessee. You can learn more about the available services and programs at tn.gov/health. Last month, the state of Tennessee asked residents to vote on the design for new automobile license plates. On Tuesday, Governor Bill Lee announced a winning design. Let's watch that video.
Hey everyone, Governor Bill Lee here. A few weeks ago, we invited Tennesseans to rate the plates and help select our state's next standard license plate. Well, you answered in a big way. In just a week, more than 300,000 Tennesseans voted statewide for their favorite new design. And today, I'm proud to announce the winning design that'll represent the volunteer state and take its place in our history. This new license plate features a throwback design with our iconic TriStar to represent our state's unique Grand Divisions, and it's a perfect way to commemorate 225 years of statehood. These new plates will start rolling out to the public the first week of 2022. Great choice, Tennessee. I look forward to seeing these on the road soon.
More news is coming up in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back to the most recent Tullahoma Recreation Department Lunch and Learn event. Sterling Howard spoke about how he became a guard for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
When we started out to become a tomb guard, you volunteered, somebody observe you or see you and say, why don't you become a tomb guard? And I was an operations clerk at the time that I was contacted. And I said, I don't think I have the qualifications for that. They said, oh yes, you do. And so all the guys kept after me, and I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And I was selected for post 1, which was the training post for the tomb guards. And normally you'd be there a month to 2 months based on how you did there. And we walked guard duty at the general's quarters on post. They're in Fort Myers. And we'd walk 24 hours, and then we'd be off 24 hours. Then from there, you would go to the tomb, and you would start your training there. And we'd go out in the evening. And in the evening, during the changing, when the cemetery closed, that's when we would go out, practice walking the mat, clicking of the heels of the shoes and everything, getting your timing down, and of course, wandering your uniform. And those are the biggest things that you had to worry about, is getting all that to go together. And some of them will make it to the tomb, but they couldn't do it. One guy there was with me. He was there up in post 1 before I was, and I thought he was doing pretty good. And but he couldn't get the clicking of the heels. Everybody had to be in sequence. When they click the heels, you want to hear one click, not 3 different ones. And so it was tough, and some of them just could not get it together. So therefore, they would not make it as a tomb guard. And it's like they say, it takes sometimes 7 to 9 months or up to 12 months before somebody is officially recognized as a tomb guard. So you can be out there, and if you don't make it over a period of time, then you're relieved and they bring somebody else. Now, they train the guards. They don't have the post 1. The guards that they have, the reliefs have more people, and they train at nighttime because this plaza is lit up 24 hours a day. So people with binoculars can see what's going on that plaza all the time. And you know, it's bad enough during the day, but at night, we didn't have to walk as rigidly as we did during the day. You cross the mat at least every 10 minutes in a military fashion, like we would normally walk. And and one other thing, you had to control your imagination. If you know what it's like when you can't control your imagination, you can imagine everything in the world. People seeing things out there at nighttime. People heard stuff out there at nighttime. And in the fall of the year, when the leaves were falling, the moon is full, shining down on the plaza. You see shadows everywhere. And you could just imagine somebody's watching me from over here. Now, we used to be inspected at night, and the sergeants and them would try to inspect us without us knowing about it. And they would come up from down below the tomb to the back of the tomb and watch us, and then they'd stand around. And some of them, couple of them smoked. Well, every so often we'd get to see the little cigarette light up. And that's how we knew somebody was watching us. And of course, we would halt them. And nobody would say anything. And we'd rack the boat because we did have live ammunition at that time. They hollered real quick. It's me, it's me, it's me. So, but we were always tested. But there are some guards that swore up and down. They watched people go right straight across through the tomb.
Oh, wow.
Now, I ain't saying they ain't wrong, because I've seen stuff out there myself. And so imagination is one big thing that you have to control out there. And the last thing I ever thought I'd ever do would be in a cemetery 24 hours a day.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
It is wonderful living here. I don't have responsibilities of a house. I don't have all the work that goes with a house. And you can just relax here and be happy.
There's no set thing that you have to do. However, the offerings that they give you, it's wonderful.
I think the biggest thing about Parkview that is most significant to me is that we are family.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Welcome back. The Tennessee State Parks recently released this video about testing water turbidity in the Duck River and how turbidity impacts wildlife.
We're here to talk about watersheds and how we can make sure that our watershed is healthy. And so today we're going to be gathering some water samples from the Duck River. Where you go to school, you actually are living in the Duck River watershed. And so we'll collect some samples, we'll do some chemistry experiments. We're gonna look at turbidity and we're gonna look at pH, and that's gonna give us some indications of how healthy the Duck River is.
So one of the ways we determine the health of the river is by measuring turbidity. So first we'd like to talk about what turbidity is. So turbidity is the measure of the degree to which water loses its transparency due to the presence of suspended particulates. So that's kind of the technical definition, but in more simple terms, it measures the cloudiness or the clarity of the water. So high turbidity is cloudy water, and low turbidity would be the clear water. So causes of turbidity would be suspended organic matter or minerals, and erosion plays a part in how cloudy or how turbid the water is.
So there are some things that can influence turbidity. Erosion is one of the things that can increase turbidity, and it is what erosion is the amount of sediment or soil particles in the water. This increased sediment influences turbidity. It is very important that our water doesn't appear too murky or cloudy, and this is what is turbid water. All natural waters are somewhat turbid, even if only at microscopic levels.
So you might wonder, how does turbidity affect the wildlife and the animals, all the animals that live in the river? And that's a very good question. And all the fish and all the animals can live in the clear water, and clear water is good because clear water allows the sun to penetrate through the water and allows for some algae and microorganisms to grow, and then those form the bottom of your food chain. And so also those algae and the plant life that's in your river helps generate oxygen. And so fish, of course, they get their oxygen through the water, just like we get our oxygen through the air. They get their oxygen through the water, through their gills. And so the more oxygen in the water, the better off they are, happier they are. And if we have turbid water, the particles in the water tend to transmit that sun, that heat, and they tend to block out the sun from the algae, but they also increase the temperature. And when you increase the temperature, you don't have as much oxygen left for the fish to breathe, and it makes it difficult for them to see their food. So certain species, like let's say for example the catfish, has these barbels on its face, and the barbels, the whiskers that we talk about, those actually are to help them feel around and also to help them smell their food. So in murky water, high turbidity water, the catfish can live great. But the other species like trout and bass, mostly they're using their eyeballs to help find their food and look for insects and little crawfish and minnows and things. So when the water is very turbid, they can't see that. So and the water gets so hot that they can't run around and find their food because there's not enough oxygen. So some of those species cannot live well in muddy water. Now in clear water, everybody's happy because we have photosynthesis, we have plant growth, we have algae, we have microorganisms growing, and the minnows and all the fish have plenty of food to choose from in their whole food chain. But once we get muddy water, we start to lose some of the pieces of that food chain, and it makes it more difficult for the fish to survive.
Okay, we've talked a little bit about turbidity, and now we're going to do a little experiment to determine what the turbidity of our water sample is. So there are 4 steps involved, and step number 1 is to fill the turbidity tube to the line. Then step 2 is to place the base of the tube on the outline of the turbidity chart. So you put the tube, center it on the circle in the middle. And then step 3 is to look down through the sample water at the disc icon under the tube. And then what you're going to do is compare the appearance of the disc under the tube to the gray discs on either side of the tube to determine the turbidity. So it's not an exact measurement. You just use your judgment to determine which circle matches the best.
So when we think about the health of a river or creek, it's important that we understand how we contribute to that. And so the health of a water body is affected by what surrounds it. And that's what we call a watershed. And so a watershed is an area of land where all of the surface water and groundwater runs downhill into a common water body, whether that's a creek or a river or a stream or a lake. And so we're responsible, or we should be responsible with what we do on the land, because that's going to ultimately impact the health of our watershed and the water that we drink and play in.
Stay with us, your weather forecast is coming up next.
The food at Parkview, well, I haven't had a bad meal there yet.
The food at Parkview is absolutely scrumptious. I mean, it is really good. It's just like home cooking.
And then there are the cookies. Oh my, they bake cookies every day, and they are super.
The food is truly incredible, and it's like being on a cruise ship.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1941 at 93 degrees. The record low was in 1991 at 30 degrees. Average high on this day is 75 and the average low is 52. Mostly cloudy weather expected tonight with a low of 59. Mostly sunny weather in the forecast for Friday with a high of 79 and a low of 59. And mostly sunny weather in the forecast again for Saturday with a high of 81 and a low of 61. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.